You kept telling me back then was you were like, yo, I want to beat this Jon Jones record.
Something that is still like reachable, so I'm definitely, that's my ultimate goal.
Now hold on. He's throwing with nasty intentions, and then when you swing, the hands come up, boom. That's when your level changes. Take down. Been dialed in and disciplined from 17 years old. It's amazing, man. You should be proud of yourself.
Thank you.
Swing. Oh, I'm sorry, bro. And then there it is. He's okay. He's okay. He's one of the best in the world.
I knew this moment was gonna come, so I'm just like.
What's your favorite part about being in the cage?
Getting on top of it and shouting "Chee wee wee."
Because I was always just looking at the positive side, you know.
Yeah.
Like we all my family could be living like barely here in the living room and but I was still like the same happy kid that I am right now, you know?
Yeah.
To be honest, getting my hand raised after the fight, that's like the best feeling in the world, you know?
What's going on, guys? We're back with another episode of the Jaxxon podcast. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the man himself started off as 17 years old in the UFC, making his debut. Now he is what, 21 years old?
Yeah, 21.
21 years old. We was one of our first ever Jaxxon podcast guests and one of the first guys ever to train here at Jaxxon when we opened up the Jaxxon Media House. Raul Rosas Jr.
Come on, let's go.
There we go.
That is crazy. You are now a UFC 4-year veteran and you're 21 years old.
Yeah.
That's wild.
No, yeah, it's a trip for sure.
When did you have your first pro MMA fight?
I was 17.
17. Hold on. And you were in the UFC at 17?
Yeah.
So how many fights? You were on the Contender?
5.
5 fights, Contender in 1 year?
In 1 year, yeah.
See? And these assholes want to sit around and take their time and have training camps when they first start. Like up-and-coming fighters talk about, oh, I'm going to do a training camp for this. It's like, no, you don't have a camp. You live and breathe the sport.
Yeah, right.
You finish on Saturday on your fight. You're back in the gym on Monday.
Yeah.
You're looking for the next fight. Congrats, man.
Thank you.
That's amazing.
Incredible. And one of the first guys to ever come here when we were doing everything.
Yeah.
And one of the things you kept telling me back then was you were like, yo, I want to beat this Jon Jones record. You kept saying that over and over again 4 years ago. Is that still something that you think about?
Yeah, that's something that is still like reachable. So I'm definitely, that's my ultimate goal.
Now hold on. Jon Jones was 21, right?
He was 23.
Oh, he was 23.
Yeah,
right, so you got 2 years.
Yeah, I got 2 years and I'm already in the top 15. So I got a good
he was 23 years old in March 19, 2011, defeating Mauricio Shogun Rojas, UFC 128. Wow.
So you got 2 years.
Wait, he was 23 years old and 242 days old. So that's almost 24.
Bro, you got a lifetime.
Oh my God.
You got twice, almost twice the length you've been in the UFC.
Yeah. So I think I got a good chance. So that's why I'm just trying to stay like in the gym, you know?
Yeah. And now, obviously, the last fight, now you're in the rankings. You beat Rob Font, an experienced veteran. How many takedowns was it? 16, 17 takedowns?
16 takedowns, I think. Raul, going in this fight, you know, Rob Font was ranked at 13. You were unranked. Was there any nerves about this being a big fight for you in your career, knowing that you have to win this to get into the rankings?
Not really. I was more like excited because I knew what was in front of me, you know? Like if I beat him, I knew I was going to get ranked. I get closer to my dream. It was a lot on the table, so it was more like I just want to go out there and just figure it out, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you did amazing. Well, you were going to say something?
No, I was going to say, Bisming, when you talk about rankings and you're really good at understanding where people sit in the company, obviously you work with UFC, understanding that the bantamweight division is a very unique division. How does the rankings, like once you finally crack the rankings, how does that affect the fights they give you? You know, what comes next in your career? Like, is it that impactful once you start getting to the rankings?
100%, because when you have a number by your name, that means something. You are one of the top 15 in the sport, in the world. And of course, you will be considered, you know, for some crazy matchups sometimes. Most of the time, all right, you're 13 now. Maybe you'll get 10, 11, something like that. But you never know. Look at Joe Pyfer this last weekend. He got a chance to jump up from like 13, 14 to number 4 against Israel Adesanya. You know what I'm saying? So basically, those kind of opportunities are available to you now. And first off, doing that at 21 years old, again, that's unbelievable. There's a lot of 21-year-olds sitting around, don't have a clue what they're doing with their life, jerking off, out drinking, partying. No, but it's true.
No, yeah,
it's true. And you've been
true.
dialed in and disciplined from 17 years old. It's amazing, man.
Yeah,
You should be
thank you.
proud of yourself.
Thank you.
Are you still training with your family, your brothers? And
Yeah, still training with my family.
what's the camp look like now? What does the team look like? Sparring partners, coaches?
Looking good. I just been like right now off camp. I travel a lot, try to learn from everybody, you know. And when it comes to camp, I'm training at the MMA lab now. Me and my brothers are now there, and there's a lot of like high level 45ers, 35ers. Because what I'm looking for is to get beat up in the gym, you know, get beat up in the gym. So when I go out there, I can, you know, just have a dominant performance like that. Because during that camp, I'm not gonna lie, this camp, I got beat up a lot, you know.
Yeah.
I got beat up a lot, and but still, I was like, man, this is training, you know. Like in the fight, I know the lights come on, and I'm just different.
Yeah, but that's how you grow. That's how you improve. If you're the guy in the room that's dominating everyone, they're the only ones improving, and you're falling into bad habits because you can get away with stuff because you're just better than your training partners. So fair play, man.
What, hey, Raul, I know I talked to you. I texted you after Noche. What ended up happening with Noche?
Noche.
You pulled out. You were hurt. You were sick.
So what happened is, so after I fought in March, and I was looking for a fight against Raul Font. And then I was trying to fight June, July, August, and then it wasn't happening. It was getting pushed back. So then I go out there, but I kept training. I got injured, my rib, you know. I'm like, fuck. And then the next day they called me. They're like, hey, you want to fight? And there was like, we were like 2 weeks, 3 weeks out from September for the fight. You want to fight Raul Font? And I was like, fuck, I'm injured. But I'm like, yeah, I'll take it. Hopefully I get better and I'm able to. But I didn't get better like in that whole week. So I'm like, I don't want to make the UFC struggle with like finding a last minute opponent. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to be able to do it. I'm like, I still got time. So I'm like, I don't want to fight Raul Font with the injured rib, you know? I'm like, that's a risk. So I was like.
So that was the opponent for Noche. They just pushed it back a little bit.
Yeah,
that's smart.
Did that give you probably a lot more time in preparation, you think, for Raul Font, where you can really watch more film?
Yeah,
or do more?
I mean, I think I'm always evolving every month, you know? So I'm just getting better and better. So I think I still would have won, and it still would have been similar September 13th, but this time it was just more dominant, and I'm growing, you know, I'm growing too, so I'm just stronger. And
let me ask you a question, and this, and I want you to know, this is not supposed to be insulting in any way, shape, or form. Obviously, there was a lot of takedowns. That's your style. That's what you're good at.
Yeah.
You heard the crowd. You heard some boos and stuff like that. As a young man, only 21 years old, how does that affect you?
It doesn't affect me, but I obviously I'm growing in the. I just thought like I'm growing in the company, so I'm usually I'm like no disrespect to like the older fighters, but usually like when you're older, what I've seen so far is like you're almost gonna fight this. Like when I'm 30, it's gonna be hard for me to kind of like change my style already, you know, after doing it for so many years. Like let's say I've never done wrestling. When I'm 30, it's hard to learn wrestling at 30 years old, you know. Right now I can still improve and stuff, and
no, dude.
My coaches wanted me to get better at controlling, because when I came into the company, I would go out there first round and try to kill somebody, you know. Now they want me to control, pace myself, and I think I did that, but now I gotta find in between, you know, because I think in the third round, I think I could have in my head I was like, I should have striked with him, you know, because I feel comfortable on the feet. But what happened, I was trying to submit him, but he just never gave me anything. He didn't give me any openings. For example, when I tried taking his back, he would prefer to go back to his back and me be on top so that he wouldn't risk anything.
Yeah, he's smart. He's a
veteran. I'm like, if I'm up 2 rounds, you know, I can always in the third try to finish on the feet. And if I would have started getting beat up on the feet, I can go back to the game plan, you know. So that's what I would have changed from this fight.
Yeah. And listen, as I said, I wasn't trying to be insulting.
No, but
it's a legit. It's
I'm
a fair
also
question.
critical to myself, you know, because I'm trying to put on the best performance, and not even that. Like I'm trying to get a finish, you know. So
of course,
obviously, I just got to start trying to finish him on the ground.
Getting the win is the most important thing, which you did impressively. On the striking side of things, is there a little part of you that still feels like, you know, because I don't know what it's like being 21 in your situation. Is there still a part of you that's, we call it imposter syndrome, still thinking, holy cow, I can't believe I'm in this situation. I've got these ranked guys that you probably watched when you weren't in the UFC. Is there still a little part of you that's like, holy shit, this is crazy?
Just a little bit. Like I was kind of like, oh, this is crazy. Like Rafon's been in there for years, you know.
Yeah.
So like, but I was like, I'm ready for
Yeah.
this. Like I knew this moment was gonna come, so I'm just like, fuck it.
Because the first time I remember I fought Rashad Evans.
Yeah.
And he was on season 2 of The Ultimate Fighter and won that. And of course, he went on to become a champion. And I'd only just started following UFC. And then all of a sudden, I have a few wins. I win The Ultimate Fighter and I'm fighting Rashad Evans. And I remember I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, you're
It's
like
Rashad
fuck.
Evans, man. Holy
Yeah,
fuck.
yeah.
And it changed my approach to the fight because I was like, wow, it's Rashad. You know, and it affected me in a negative way. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say it can either like affect you in a negative way or a positive way. Like me, it was like more like I was pumped, you know. I
Yeah,
was pumped,
yeah.
like I'm fighting now I'm fighting the best in the world, somebody that's been through a lot, you know. So I was like, it got me more fired up than other fights, you know.
Yeah. No, mine was, it was the main event, UFC 78, New Jersey on pay-per-view. So in my mind, my problem was like, I was just happy to be there. At
Yeah.
this point, I was like, shit,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is amazing. I lost a split decision. It was the first loss of my career. And I remember afterwards, I wasn't particularly upset. I was like, well, I did pretty good. It was a split decision to a guy that went on to become a
Yeah.
champion, you know. But that obviously was the wrong mindset. But you didn't have that. You got the win. You dominated the fight.
Yeah.
16 takedowns. It's unbelievable, man.
How do you look at like training? Because Bisping, you've talked a lot about having good sparring partners, how impactful Coach Perillo was on your kind of length of your career and where you were going, the trajectory, understanding the fight game. Raul, I know you moving to MMA lab. Like, how do you itemize what type of sparring partners you need, what type of work you need? Because I know Robert Emerson at the MMA lab.
Yeah.
And he's like a great coach. I've seen him in Arizona, in and out. But I know that the way there's so many bodies, like you could get lost in the gym almost, no?
Yeah, I mean, as long as like I've always said, I'm not to train with anybody as long as there's no bad intentions. You know, like you can tap me, like I don't care, but just don't try to, you know, rip my arm off. You know, like I'll tap, like I don't have no ego. But there's some people, like especially like now that I have a name, you know, I go into random gyms. I am gonna get people that try to prove something. You know,
Yeah.
That's
Where
always
I'm
the
like,
way.
That's always the way, and I'm just like, man, like.
It's
This
hard
shit
when you
doesn't
become
matter.
a name in the UFC,
Yeah.
going into
Another
a random
gym.
gym to train because everyone there thinks, oh, this is my opportunity. And especially if if they're an up and coming guy that isn't in the UFC,
Yeah.
they want to be seen. They want to catch that shot. They want to do something crazy, choke you out, and then all of a sudden, I beat up fucking Raul Rosas Jr. in the gym. You know, hey Dana, sign me up. You know,
Yeah.
But do you look at it like, for example, I saw you training with the Rotolo brothers. I
Yeah.
see you mixing it up with one of the Vargas brothers in boxing. Like, walk me through this video clip. You're training boxing with the Vargas brothers, and then it goes into MMA technique.
Oh yeah, that was just like a little feel of like just boxing and MMA. You know, we're just fucking around. But then beside like off camera, we did 6 or 8 rounds, pure boxing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, pure boxing, and that's why I know like I haven't been able to show it in the cage, but I know like the skill set that I'm building on the striking, you know, because I'm going out there and like like for example, that's why I was confident because I'm like I did pretty good with Emiliano. We were going like pretty intense, and I'm like Rafa. He's a good boxer, but
Oh, of
like
course.
he just can't box like Emiliano. Emiliano's just a pure boxer, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm like, and it's different in MMA and shit. And then I go out there, grapple with the Rotolo brothers, and I'm like, who's gonna grapple in MMA like the Rotolo brothers? You know?
Nobody.
Yeah.
So I'm out here training with the best in their own craft, and then obviously I get beat up, but I'm like, you know, I get to learn
Yeah.
a lot of good shit.
But that like traditional Mexican style boxing really kind of like not the Mayweather shell, but like
No,
kind
of
of just
course.
standing right in the pocket with your hands up, you know. Do we see a lot of that kind of equal to the way MMA boxing works? Like how much adaptation do you have to take traditional boxing to make it actually work in the cage?
I mean, it's not too much. You don't have to change very much. Let's be honest. In fact, if anything at all. I mean, look at Ilia Topuria.
Yeah.
Probably the cleanest
The
boxer in the
cleanest boxing,
UFC.
yeah.
And it looks like a boxer operating. And all
Yeah.
you got to do, like the front leg in boxing is turned like 45
Yeah,
degrees.
come over here,
All you gotta
Bisping,
do
and
is-
actually show the audience.
Well, no, like a typical boxing stance, the front leg wants to be 45 degrees. The back leg is kind of straight, so you can push off it like that.
Yeah.
I mean, all you got to do, because people talk shit, they say, oh, you can't check leg kicks.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can. put it there.
Yeah.
You can still throw the exact same kind of combination. You can still check leg kicks or whatever. Boom. It's that easy. It's that easy.
Yeah.
So, like, did you feel like a lot of your boxing, a lot of your striking has kind of gone to new levels by training with so many guys that are disciplined in their craft, like the Vargas brothers?
Oh yeah. I've gotten the main thing I took away from that sparring, he was really good with the jab to the body. You know, he feints up high and then he goes low. So I was trying to pressure him, and then he would just he would feint up, and then he would push me back with the jab to the body. So then I was like, okay, you know.
And then is the goal for you and Bisping, I'd love to hear your approach as a world champion, is the goal to then take bits and pieces of things you're learning from all these sparring and all these techniques and try to adapt them to your own? Is the goal to just understand that someone might be doing that to you? Like, how do you then take all this knowledge and apply it to your game?
Like off camp, I like to focus on just boxing, focus on just jiu-jitsu,
So
focus
each
on just
discipline
wrestling.
has its own thing.
And in camp, I like to put it all together. How can it work in MMA, you know? How can my boxing work in MMA? How can my wrestling work in MMA? Put it all together. But off camp, I like to focus on a specific craft and try to be the best right there, you know?
Which is beautiful, which is what he should be doing, because respectfully, at 21 years old, you're still learning so much about yourself right now. You know, I mean, I'm not being insulting. You're still...
Yeah.
You're only just legal to drink alcohol.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
So there's so much that you're going to learn. Yes, on the mats, in a jiu-jitsu dojo, in a boxing gym, whatever. But mentally as well, like, you're going to learn and figure out the fight game so much more. You're going to be such a different person. In 10 years from now, you're going to look back and say, that 21-year-old didn't know his ass from his elbow. You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to learn and develop so much. It's crazy. So you should be doing that. You should be going to these specialist gyms, because that's how you'll truly get to learn the specific arts and then be able to blend them together in your own way and create your own style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. At the MMA lab, what was the specific reason why you took your camp there?
They just have a lot of in Vegas. I couldn't think of any training
Like
partners.
Syndicate, Extreme Couture.
Yeah, and I fought somebody from Syndicate, so I was like, I don't want to go there, you know, because they have a few bantamweights, and I was like, I don't know what's gonna happen. So then I went to the MMA lab. They got like Kyler Phillips, Mario Bautista, Marcus McGee, and then my brother was already out there, my older brother. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go train over there and get some high level
your older
work.
brother fights?
Yeah, I have two older brothers. They both fight, but the oldest was already over there. Like he moved permanently to Arizona. So I was
What's
like,
their records?
my older brother is 4-2, and then my other brother, he's 7-1.
Okay.
He's about to get called up to the UFC.
So you inspired them?
No, we all started at the same time. We just have.
You were just busier.
Did you hear the stories about when they were young, just beating
didn't.
each other up, and the mom would come in with a taser gun
Yeah.
and tase
Oh,
them?
shit.
Yeah.
Is
The
that
belt didn't
really a
hurt.
true story? I
No,
know
yeah.
you said it on
No,
the pod.
yeah.
It went viral
It
after
did.
the podcast.
It did. Because belts, like, we got used to it, especially.
Yeah. The belt was a classic.
So it was like a classic, but then my mom kind of noticed that we were just we acted like it hurt, but it didn't.
They had to up it a level.
So she had it, yeah.
My mum loved the rolling pin.
Oh wow!
The wooden rolling pin.
For cooking.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
But she didn't use it for cooking. You know, she used it, and I'm telling you,
That's a baseball bat.
it was bad. She would swing that, and you put your arms up, and it hits your elbows and stuff. It was so bad, and it got like she loved the rolling pin,
Yeah.
and she would take the rolling pin. So one day when she was out, I took the rolling pin and I hid it in the house, and then whatever happened one day, she was like, "Oh yeah." She's to my little sister, because my mum always had a really bad limp. She can't walk too well. She's like, "Shireen, get me the rolling pin." And, oh, no. She went to the drawer to get the rolling pin, and the rolling pin wasn't there because I'd hid it, right? And my little sister says, "Mom, I know where it is. He hid it." And she went off and got the rolling pin. I was like, what the fuck? Shireen,
She ratted you
what
out.
are you doing? You're handing her the rolling pin so you can beat the crap out of me. It's good times.
Were you mischievous? Were you a bad boy?
Oh, we all were. We had it
But were
coming.
you getting a lot of street fights and stuff?
Oh, yeah, a lot of street fights.
Were you just a hoodlum, just always doing something?
No, not really. Not really. I was bullied a lot growing up.
Really?
You know, yeah, because we came from, you know, kind of a poor family. You know what I'm saying? And my clothes were crap, and, you know, bottom of my shoes was always like hanging off and stuff like that. So yeah, I got bullied a lot. And I was an angry kid. You know, I came from a house with a lot of fun, action, you know, a lot of violence, shall we say.
Yeah.
So like it just seemed normal to have a fight. And I'll be honest, in the 80s, it was. Like these days, you can't behave like that.
Yeah.
In the 80s, it wasn't too bad. You get into a fight, police come along, break it up, right? You go that way, you go that way. Obviously, times have changed.
Yeah.
you
What
know.
city did you actually grow up in?
It's a little beautiful town called Clitheroe.
How far is that from like the main downtown?
45 minutes, an hour from Manchester.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay,
It's only a small place, but there was a lot of fights. There's like 18 pubs on the main street where there used to be. They've all shut down now, which is such a shame. And yeah, all everyone did would go out Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday night, drink, and fight. And that was it. And I was all about it. I was like, let's go.
Yeah.
It was great.
Did you get a lot of street fights growing up?
Like in school, but like just for fun, you know? Like no beef. It was just like
You just would beat people up for fun?
Yeah.
What was life like growing up for you? I mean, obviously the taser, that's a crazy one. But like back home in Mexico, where are you from?
Mexico City.
Mexico City? Oh, shit.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. But I don't know. It was always fun to me. Like we didn't have nothing and stuff, but
Yeah.
what I realized is the other day I was thinking like I can't remember where I'm like, damn, I had a bad day. You know?
No, exactly.
Because even though I'm like, it's crazy, like right now we have more money, obviously, and I'm like, but I still feel the same, you know, I still feel as happy as I was when I didn't have nothing, you know, because I'm like, I was always just looking at the positive side, you know.
Yeah.
Like we all my family could be living like barely here in the living room and shit, but I was still like the same happy kid that I am right now, you know.
Yeah, I look back at those times in my life. I mean,
And it's like
times were hard, but my parents loved me. They
you
beat the
know,
shit out of us,
yeah.
but like we deserved it.
Yeah.
It was a different time, and it was a house full of love, and you know, and I wouldn't change a damn thing.
Right, yeah.
Raul, you talked about many times that you want to maybe retire at age 25. Is that true?
I heard that.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
Yeah. But
What are you talking about?
Yeah. You might
because
be the champ. You might have to be defending some belts. What do you mean?
if like obviously it can grow a little bit more, like 26, 27, but I just think if I'm champion by 23 and I defend the belt a couple times, if I don't have another goal, I don't want to keep fighting just to fight, you know? Like,
I understand that. You want to come here, leave your impression, become champ, make some money, and then get out.
And then, if I want to go for like second belt, third belt, whatever I want to do, like I'm going to stay active. But when there's like, okay, like I don't just want to get in the cage for nothing. Like, oh yeah, I'm just going to keep fighting just for money.
You're going to
you
get
know?
bigger.
Yeah.
You're definitely going to get bigger. So you fight at 35.
But do you not put that in your head as maybe just another, milestone to get you somewhere? Like, are you manifesting this concept, or do you really believe that?
No, I really believe that.
Like, you just don't want to fight after a certain point?
Yeah. Like I said, when I get everything I want from the sport, my dream's complete. I think
And you're
I'm done.
manifesting that might be 25 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you got to respect
Like-
that at the same time. You know,
cool.
you have a goal that you reasonably can accomplish. You're 21 and you're in the rankings. You've got the skill sets. You don't really have any glaring weaknesses. Yeah, of course, areas can improve and all the rest of it. But so far, you're 12-1.
Yeah.
It's not a bad goal, is it? We all want to become the champ. And just saying that he's doing it early and he's going to get out at 25. And then there's a whole other life to live outside of fighting when you walk away. So, and you'll still be young enough to do anything.
Yeah.
For the
cool,
people
man.
that are at home that are trying to understand how the gyms work, and there's been a lot of talk, even in our Jaxxon podcast Discord, it's really not talked about enough how the MMA scene works. There's 4 or 5 gyms. Everybody trains there. You might train with a guy you might fight. The training's wide open. There's people that are just taking class for self-defense sometimes that are a part of these pro classes so the gyms could make money. Everybody's like trying to figure it out. Now we do see like Syndicate, for example, has a great pro class by John Wood.
Yep.
Extreme Couture, Eric Nixick has an amazing pro class. But you might be training and there's a mom that's down the bag, that's training just for cardio.
Yeah.
So it is a unique space that this professional sport is in, right? Because these gyms got to make money too. There's only so much money they can make off the fighters. Like, walk me through this, and then I want to hear your opinion, Bisbing. But like, why wouldn't you want to train at a gym like, say, Syndicate, for example, that has like Marab there, and you're like, okay, that's the champion, I'm going to get the best work? Or do you look at it like, oh, if I train there, I'm going to train against someone I might end up fighting?
No, we're cool. Like, obviously, to be honest, I would like to go around Marab just because of the fact that we're cool. I've been training with him since I was like 15 years old. We've done like over 100 sparring rounds together. Obviously, we're like not scared of each other. Like, if the fight came where we have to fight each other, we'll fight each other. But I'm just focused on the belt. You know, whoever they're like, you got to fight him to get the belt, I'm going to fight him.
But like, being at a gym that has a bunch of great work, wouldn't that make you like want to be more at that gym? And I don't care what gym you're at. I'm just mainly asking the thought process and putting together.
I think it also depends on the style, you know? Like, obviously, everybody, for example, John Wood and Eric, they're both great in their own ways, you know, but they do have a very different style of training. And John Crouch at the MMA lab, he's great too. But they're all different styles, you know, so it's just, you got to see which one fits for you, you know?
Yeah, and there is obviously the big gyms that you mentioned, and there's American Top Team and a few others in Killcliff and
Santo
stuff like that.
Studio.
Santos, of course. But there's also a lot of independent ones and that you've never heard of. And he wants to forge his own path, do it his own way. And also, if you go to these other gyms, you do sometimes run the risk of being kind of, you know, just a number on the treadmill. You know, that's what some people say. They'll say, and I'm not bad mouthing any gym, but they went there and they kind of forgotten about, and there's a champion in there and they're getting all the attention. And then next week there's someone that's in the co-main event and they're getting all the attention, and you're kind of forgotten about and used as a sparring partner at times. So often it's best to go to those places sometimes, if it's available, to do a bit of sparring, but to have your own camp and your own setup where it's all about you and improving you and working on your strengths, your weaknesses, and your journey, you know?
Yeah, I asked that because, like, for example, Joshua Van's at, is it 3 Ounce Fight Club or 5 Ounce Fight Club with Daniel Pineda.
Yeah,
and we had them on the pod. And they talk about how the whole camp is built like around him.
Yeah.
And TJ Dillashaw has talked about many times, he had his camp, but he would love to go after working on new techniques with Dwayne, to just go to a new gym and be like, all right, he knows they're going to all try to kill him.
Yeah.
So he's like, it's the perfect time to test everything new. In today's time, like, do you feel like there's kind of this gap between the new generation and the old generation of fighters? Do you feel like you're kind of like the leader of the new generation in a way? Do you feel like there's a big gap in the way they train?
Yeah, I just think the sport is like evolving, you know? I like, for example, I feel like when I look back, there's gonna probably be a 21-year-old where I'm like, damn, at 21, I wasn't that good, you know? The sport just keeps evolving. Like, you see the Rotola brothers, they're young, and one of them's ADCC champ at like 19 or 20. In soccer, they're signing 18, 17-year-olds, you know, like, just the sport, Lamine Jamal, you know, like, the sports just keep evolving, so I just feel like that's the difference.
But like, Bisbing, when you were coming up, was it the same way? Like, would you just go gym to gym?
And I feel like we have more opportunities, you know?
Way more opportunities. Way more. I mean, even we were talking about this recently. Just online. Even just online to find techniques and training methods and the scientific research and how to lift weights properly and get in shape properly and listen to podcasts and watch fighter breakdowns on YouTube or Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson doing techniques on YouTube or here, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
we do a ton of stuff as well.
In what world did you ever think the entire Hamzat Chimaev camp would be like on YouTube?
Yeah, no,
that guy's the most reclusive person in the UFC.
Imagine you're 12 years old and you want to be a fighter, and you have access to watching the training camp, and you don't have to leave your bedroom.
Did you have YouTube when you were first started?
Bro, are you serious? This is 2003. So did YouTube exist then?
I don't even know if it existed.
No, I don't.
But like, what would you guys watch? What would you look at?
So when I first started, my wife bought me, because UFC obviously was going for a while, but I wasn't aware of it. I was in New Zealand in 1995 for the World Jiu-Jitsu Championships, where I got a silver medal. I was only 16 against grown men, and I saw they were all. We were staying in a youth hostel. And they were all gathered around a TV watching one of the first UFC events. And I wasn't really interested. And I went off and I partied for a few years and forgot all about martial arts. And then I wanted to obviously make something of my life, started training. And 2002 for Christmas, my wife got me, because we were broke, she got me Ultimate 100 Submissions or something like that. And yeah, and we put it in the VHS and we're sitting around, me and my boys, and they're like, this is what you're going to do? And I'm like, shit, yeah. And that was how we watched. That's how we saw stuff, you know? It was crazy.
What do you look at right now, Raul? Like you go into the day, because I mean, it was really hard to get you on the pod, and you're one of my favorite fighters, you know. But Jacob's like, dude, this guy's got a camp. You know, shout out to Iridium. And then I even texted you. I'm like, yo, what do we got to do? I texted him. I said, I can't deal with your manager anymore. Jason and Jacob, they got me running through hoops to get you on here. Just come on next week. We got Bisbing. But like, what does your week look like? Are you planning out each day? Like, really give me the detailed look, because you are probably one of the busiest 21-year-olds in the game right now.
I just stay in the gym because I'm helping my brothers with their career. Like they're helping me too, you know. Like, and then like, for example, Kyler Phillips and another guy, Jack, helped me for this camp, a lot of sparring. So now Kyler Phillips has an upcoming fight. And then I'm like, I got to help them too, you know? I can't be selfish, you know? I can't. They help me, I got to be there to help them. And then my brother can get called anytime for short notice to the UFC because he's already there. So that's why right now I'm going to go back. We're going to drill. Because, you know, maybe there's a lot of opportunities this weekend. So it could be this weekend. And so right now I'm going to go out there, help them drill, help them train. And also I'm staying ready for myself because like Bisping said, in the top 15, any opportunities can present themselves.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
So I'm trying to stay ready. I'm trying to stay in shape. My weight's at like 155. I'm ready to make the cut and just staying ready, you know.
But what does that look like and what does it feel like to be going on this journey? 3 brothers, all fighters. You're in the UFC, you're leading the charge, but they're your older brothers, you have respect for them. I can only imagine what that feels like because I've got 2 older brothers.
Yeah.
And if the 3 of us were all becoming MMA fighters, it would have just been insane, man. I mean, talk about the 2 best training partners that you could have on planet Earth.
And I feel like it has kept us like really close, you know, because it's a family thing. So we're always seeing each other, and we all fight at 135 too.
Yeah.
So
does the sparring get a little carried away?
Sometimes, not anymore. But before it was more competitive. And right now it's
what does that mean? That you're whooping their asses and you're getting better? No,
it's still competitive. Like I still get beat up by them too. But I'm saying like we know how to control ourselves. Before it was like we're starting and then he connects a jab and I'm like, oh, I gotta get you back. You know?
Your mum doesn't need to be there to referee and tase whoever's getting a little crazy.
No. Before she would sometimes have to stop us because we would start going too crazy. You know, and she would be like, hey, you guys, we would start throwing knees and shit. So it was like,
If we look at the division right here, Raul, in the bantamweight division. You know, now that you're 13th in the ranking, we see some good names above you. You know, you got Chito Vera, David Martinez, Bautista, you know, Song Yadong. Is there someone on this list that you specifically would like to have for your next fight?
Obviously I respect all of them, but I would like to fight. I was trying to fight Davison Figueiredo, but he got booked against Song Yadong. So then I'm just trying to fight anybody to be honest that's above me. So I can get up there, you know.
Is there a fight specifically that you wanted besides Figueiredo?
No, to be honest, specifically, I wanted Figueiredo, but because it's a good test, you know. He's got good jiu-jitsu, good striking, good power, good wrestling. I wanted to test myself, but everybody else, I'm like, I'll fight.
Like, if someone sticks a camera in your face, and of course, there's multiple cameras here. What is your message to the entire bantamweight division?
Oh, that I'm ready, you know. I'm coming for the belt. So whoever they put in my way, I'm gonna be 100% ready. You know.
Yeah. I would advise you gotta talk a little more shit.
Yeah.
No,
you know what I'm saying? You gotta own that.
Yeah.
I made my UFC debut, UFC 66, and I beat Eric Schaefer.
UFC 66.
UFC 66.
We celebrated UFC 300 last year.
I know, bro.
Oh my God.
I know. Shut up. UFC 66. New Year's Eve 2006, and I've got shaved head, and I don't know what. And I'm like, everyone, you're all gonna fucking get it. And that was you know, but like
Buzzcut Bisbing was insane.
It was a good time.
Great look. You should do it.
I'm thinking about it. I'm receding a little bit, so I might just shave it off.
If you did it, I mean, right now it looks very UK-ish of you, but if you did it, you would look so hard.
I've been thinking about doing it for a while, but look at this head of hair, though. Jesus,
Yeah, hey, you got a crazy look. You got the whole vibe. You're winning.
You got the chains.
Yeah, you got the chains. You're still got an amazing slogan. You still scream it.
What is a chi wee wee? Sorry, what is that? What is it?
It's like a word of expression, you know, like a woo.
Oh, okay.
Like, chi wee wee. Yeah.
Yeah, when you were fighting in Vegas, because I did the desk, bro, that's all they were doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, screaming.
You realize how popular it took off?
Yeah, and I didn't think it was gonna, like, I said it accidentally, you know, because it's a word that
It's a Spanish word, right?
I don't even know, to be honest, but it's so like I don't know how to say it in English, like it sticks to you, you know? Like it sticks in your head. So my homie would always be like, "Oh shit, bro, like this girl just answered me, bro. Chee-wee-wee."
I see,
so I got the
yeah.
hang of it, what it meant, you know, because he just said some random shit. So when I beat Ricky Tercios and they gave me the mic, I was just like, "Chee-wee-wee." And after that, it just fucking, the next morning I wake up and everybody's going crazy. Yeah.
A whole other thing.
Yeah.
It went nuts. It helped you build a brand real fast, though.
Yeah,
It made you something different. Like Sugar Sean has the hair. McGregor had the tattoos and the crazy thing. Like everybody has that edge to them, you know?
Yeah.
You had your facial expressions and your style. Like Anderson was smooth. And you have like this slogan that the whole internet loves screaming, you know?
Yeah.
It's cool. It's a great way to
Tell
build
me you've
a
done
brand.
a t-shirt.
Yeah.
done
I've done
merch, of
t-shirts.
course.
Oh,
Yeah,
you kill it on merch, I heard.
Yeah.
So are you still running everything day to day, like with your camp, your brand, your life? Like, are you running everything day to day? You have a new team now that you're in Arizona, or same people?
Yeah, so same coaches, like, but we're all like they're all like adapting to each other. Like my jiu-jitsu coach is Cobrinha. He's out here in LA.
Yeah.
And then
A legend.
Yeah, so then we're all coming together.
Does he fly into Arizona to help you for camp?
No, I was going back and forth, and then he would come too, and then but yeah, having them in my corner for the first time, working together, they're both like two masterminds, you know.
Yeah.
So
Did you ever train with Cobrinha?
No, I didn't.
game
No,
plan is
I don't know
crazy.
him personally, but I'm well aware of his reputation.
Yeah.
Having access to that kind of training at
so
21
young.
years old, and probably years before as well, it's crazy. It is crazy.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm thankful for like the opportunities that I've got, you know, so young.
Because back in the day when the sport wasn't so big, you had to travel, you had to fly
Yeah.
somewhere. I had to drive to the other end of the country. There wasn't, like in the UK, there was no black belts. There was one called Braulio Estima down in Birmingham, which was like a 3.5 hour drive. And I'd drive down once a week and go train with him. You know, now it's at your fingertips. It's
gyms everywhere.
the best people in
nuts.
the world. It's crazy.
It's nuts to me. Do you have a lot of people though that, like, for example, when you get ready for a fight, can you walk me through what does that look like? Do you have to go sit down with your manager? You sit down with your mom?
I hate that noise.
Yeah, that's the alarm. You got to wake
People
up.
use that in a gym. I want to kill them.
Oh yeah.
Don't use that as a timer in the gym, because when I hear that, it like brings
That's
out
the wake up call.
Yeah.
despise it.
It's the wake up call. But before, I wanted to hop in the cage and talk about some stuff with you in the cage so people can see some technique from you.
Yeah.
But before we go in there, can you walk me through, like, when you get a fight, people are wondering because you're so young, like, do you have to deal with your parents, your manager, your coaches? How does that happen?
My manager mainly, the UFC. I like to stay active, but in the UFC, you know, it's harder. You know, they kind of sit you out for a little bit. So, like, if it was for me, I would like to fight in July, you know, but obviously the UFC has the final call. So, yeah, whenever I get a fight, I just talk to my dad mainly, and then my coach is like, hey, what do you guys think of this fight, you know? And then they're like, yeah, let's go for it. And
So
yeah,
the manager does all the negotiations.
yeah,
with
he
UFC?
does everything.
Yeah, Jason Ellis.
Yeah, he does
Nice.
everything, yeah.
Your dad must be a proud man.
Yeah.
That's crazy. 3 boys, all fighters, all friends. That's the
Yeah.
main thing. I mean, 3 boys that have such a close bond like that.
Insane.
Yeah.
And then obviously you're killing it. That's crazy, man. You
Yeah,
must
no,
be very
thank you.
proud.
Thank
Hey,
you.
before we go in the cage, is it a lot of pressure on you?
No, to be honest, I just enjoy the moment, you know? I'm like enjoying my career. And like I said, I'm doing this for myself, you know? Like, obviously, because the MMA fans, you win, they all love you. You lose, they don't care about you. So I'm like, shit, I'm doing
Yeah,
this
it's
for
true.
me, you know?
And that's the right attitude to have, because
Yeah.
none of those people really give a shit.
No, they
about
don't.
you.
They don't care about us,
Yeah.
you know. Like, for example, the time that I lost, against Christian Rodriguez, I lost like about uh, 80,000 followers.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, so
Of
I
one
just
loss.
of one
That's
loss.
insane.
So that just tells you, like, if I was to lose again, I'm pretty sure I'll lose like a lot of followers.
Now, don't get me wrong. There is a lot of like real fans that like I have people that I still keep in contact with just
Yeah,
via
yeah.
social media, and I've met a few times at fights, and they're awesome people.
No,
Those
yeah,
people
yeah.
exist. But there's also a lot of people.
that
more importantly, they just probably lose money.
Yeah.
When they bet on you, and then
Yeah.
all of a sudden
And
they
they're
take
like,
it
yeah,
personal.
they take
And they're
it
like,
personal.
oh, fuck Rosas Jr.
Yeah.
Prick
That's
lost me
crazy.
$200.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Do you get a lot of DMs like that? Like, bro, you lost me money. I mean, you win a lot. So
Yeah. I get both. Like, bro, you won me money, and bro, you lost me money. Even in public when they see me, bro, you won my parlay, or bro, a few years ago you made me lose my parlay.
how is that like a thing in our sport? Like, you don't
I'm
go
like-
to LeBron James and be
No,
like, yo, bro, you
no.
lost me my parlay.
Yeah.
Because it's a team, they're team sports.
Yeah.
You know, the pressure's so much different. It's
Yeah.
one person, and you don't get to fight very often either. Like LeBron James, he'll have a good game, bad game. A few days later, he's back on the court.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's crazy. Like, our entire sport, I say this as a fan when I say our sport, the sport of MMA is built off like sports gambling. And it's like the fans love sports gambling. Every other ad is about sports gambling. And then they get mad at the fighters when they lose.
Yeah,
It makes
but-
no sense.
Yeah, it's just an emotional connection to losing money.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
But I've heard that from a lot of fighters have told me that off the podcast. Like, yeah, the one thing I get a lot of heat, like if I lose with people that are gambling. So it's funny.
yeah,
that
well,
it's
ignore those assholes.
you gotta
Yeah,
ignore
yeah.
that. Like, there's
Yeah.
no way that matters to
But
you.
what's it like when you go back home where you're from? I mean,
You gotta be a hometown hero, huh?
You gotta be, right?
Yeah. No, it's crazy.
They
But
built you a
like,
statue.
not yet.
It's coming.
It's coming, but all the love, all the love from all the people, even here, everywhere, I like, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, congrats, man. You
So
deserve it.
I want to hop in the cage. I want to ask you a few things about technique, fighting. You're so skilled at your game. And I know a lot of people see the different tools you have and they want to kind of hear from you from that. So we're going to take this podcast in the cage. We'll see you guys right now. We're going to kind of walk through some stuff we were talking about on the pod, some of the techniques. Bisbing, I'll let you kick it off.
Obviously, you just had the big win over Rob Font. Rob Font, you were talking about how he used that good. He's an orthodox fighter, or is he southpaw?
orthodox,
Oh,
yeah,
good, because I suck at southpaw. So you were talking about he was jabbing to the body a lot, right?
Yeah.
And the reason he jabs to the body is because he wants to bring the arms down and then boom, come with
Yeah.
that straight right over the top. So how were you setting up the takedowns from there? So here.
So usually, I'm always like looking at like what your reaction's gonna be. You
Yeah,
know? 'Cause
yeah.
Obviously, they know I'm gonna shoot at some point in the fight, so I'm always like, I'm thinking here, and if I see you're like you respect it, and it's like that's where I like start coming like for striking and shit. But then sometimes I know you're like not respecting it, so I'm like right there you didn't react, so then I'm like, okay, so I go here, you don't react, and from here is where I'm able to come in, because if I feel like with high level fighters, if I'm here and I shoot from here, it's gonna be you're probably gonna stop it,
Yeah, no, of
But
course.
like I repeat it a few times, I feint and then I go.
then
Because
from
I
here,
feel like
you
you
switch off to
react
the double?
even if you react, like it's hard to react like twice,
Yeah,
So
because
like
you come in there, once you're in there,
Yeah, it's
shoot
like-
in, boom. I mean, my instant reaction is going to be trying to get this here, push down and pull that back. It ain't going to be that easy. So you're going to probably lift that and switch it off to the double.
Yeah, like try to just switch,
Okay. But as you say, you've got to your point, you got to connect with the fist to make the takedown attempt really work, because there's no point just like, what was it Saturday night? Might have been Joe Pyfer, and I don't want to throw him under a bus, but he was making it obvious to Izzy that he was gonna Mansour Abdel Malik, thank you very much, he was. It was so obvious that he was gonna shoot. You've got to set it up with the shots, with actually trying to land punches, because when they take a shot, then it's like,
Now
oh
they're respecting.
shit, he's throwing with nasty intentions.
Yeah.
And then when you swing, the hands come up, boom, that's when your level change. Go for the takedown. Sorry, buddy. These bantamweights,
With how
they make me look good.
with how good Raul Rosas Jr. is on his feet and his striking, maybe you can kind of explain it first, and then Bisbing, you can kind of explain it to him. We see so many fighters now getting caught up when they're fighting against kickboxers, being able to close the distance, and they're not really using their striking or setting it up with feints or their jabs. Can you kind of show how you get in on a fighter, or how you're able to kind of start to get off on them?
Yeah, exactly like how Bisping said, you gotta actually strike to land. Because if he knows that I'm not really trying to, like, I'm just here, he's not gonna respect me, you know. But if I connect like some good shots, like boom, then he's gonna fucking be worried about that. Where I can use the same movement, and he thinks it's gonna come again, but this time, like, you know.
So setting up believable shots, because a lot of times we're not seeing people actually commit. And we saw even Feely talk about that on the pod.
You've got to commit, you've got to have nasty intentions. Even just then, when he threw that shot, and we're clearly only demonstrating, he threw it and it looked good. My hands instinctually went here, right? And that opens up all of the hips, you know?
Yeah.
100%. Now, we see a lot of videos, and there's actually one going viral on the internet right now about Jon Jones' oblique kick and setting it up. But we also see variations of it where people are using the kick to kind of kick out the knee. Can you kind of show me one of your favorite kicks kind of coming up in the game, and then explain how that oblique kick works?
Yeah, well, obviously the oblique kick, I mean, it's a dangerous kick. Remember Modestas Bukowskis versus Khalil Roundtree Jr. It was here, the leg was planted, it was here, I think, boom, just like that. And the leg, hyperextended, went that way, blew his knee out. Modestas was out for, I don't know, a year, 18 months, something like that. It was never a big one of mine, but I'm left-footed. So my lead leg was always inside leg, obviously here, boom, there. And it's a good rangefinder. Obviously, I love the teep, because the teep's great. Like, for example, when I fought, well, a lot of my fights, you get cracked, he lands a good shot, boom, right, and wobble, they know it. When you're backing up against the octagon, you hear a good teep just to get him out of the way. That will be the difference in them following it up with another shot and knocking you out, or just that little, just give you a little bit of breathing space. Of course, the teep here, sorry, the oblique. Jon Jones, he was showing it recently like that. Is this something that you use, Raul? I was never the biggest oblique guy.
But kind of sometimes to like stop pressure too, you know, just to get them thinking. Because I'm southpaw too, so like just that. To like kind of measure distance sometimes, you know. Or like I like taking the back leg too. Like I don't know why that shit fucking hurts. Like when we're here and I just go to the back.
Oh yeah. Well, I'll tell you why it hurts. Because people don't condition the rear leg.
Yeah.
The lead leg.
That's the reason why that back leg hurts more?
It is the reason.
Wow.
It's not a theory. You take inside kicks, low kicks, calf kicks, all to your lead leg. But if you're skilled enough that you can close the distance, like Raul says, and attack that rear leg, they're not used to taking kicks there. Simple as that.
I've heard multiple guests talk about that.
Yeah.
Like even Luke sometimes talks about like the minute someone switches stance, that's when he would like to attack that front leg because it's dead weight, and you would come underneath it and try to get the back of the leg. But the conditioning of the leg, no one ever talks about that. Yeah. No one ever talks about how important that is.
And then people talk, obviously you're a southpaw. So when you're southpaw here, a lot of the time, lead leg kicks, they don't really exist.
This is just for example. You're going to blow up my guy's hamstring. This thing's taking full on kicks on Raul Rosas. He's a 135er. You're a 185er.
He's from the mean streets of Mexico.
Oh my God.
Take a little bloody, you know, to set up the hard low kick, I would throw a jab, right hand, obviously they move away, right hand, now you've switched stances, and then, come through. Yeah, so back them up, 1, 2, and then switch. Oh, I'm sorry, bro. And then there it is, I'm so sorry.
Killer shot, now we got
to do it. He's okay, he's one of the best in the world. Kick me back, get me, bro. Go on, do it. Oh,
it's good.
Like this?
I love it.
Like this?
But the training, like the training for this, like Raul, are you conditioning your body? Are you going through these techniques, or are you doing a lot more sparring? Like, how are you getting these fundamentals so dialed in at such a young age?
I mean, on striking technique. When we're drilling, you know, you sometimes instead of checking it all the time, you just kind of take it. You know, that's I feel like that's how you. I don't know. That's how you get it.
Raul, you're really good on the floor, right? I don't know how you got so good on the floor, but you're real good. And one of the things I always see Armin and Hamza do, they do a lot of wrestling drills, but a lot of like takedown controls, arm drags, getting people to the ground. They're obviously not using cages. They use the wall pads, which I think is probably a lot safer for training.
Yeah.
Can you kind of run me through one of these arm drag techniques that we were watching on the podcast earlier?
Yeah, the one that we saw on the podcast here, obviously here, a standard arm drag. You just come to the outside, there, grab, step, pull them, and then you step into them, And obviously that gives you the rear body lock, and I ain't no Daniel Cormier, so I ain't gonna pretend to be. But he makes me look good. The one that we saw there, it's like just a little variation. There's always changes, there's always evolutions. You're just here and you lift it down and then here. Same thing, and the difference is there is that now you've cleared this hand.
How important is technique like this to drill, to have really just in your back pocket during a fight? Raul, why don't you start me with that?
I think it's important, like, because then in the fight it comes like muscle memory, you know, like your body automatically, if it sees it, you don't even have to think about it. You do it and you're like, oh shit.
It becomes second nature. Drill, 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 so you don't even have to think about it. So that when you're cracked, you're rocked, you're hurt, you're dazed, you don't know what's going on, you're still doing the things that you're thinking about because you've built the neural pathways in your mind, because you've done it so many times, you just do it without even thinking.
Would you use the word autopilot? Like, does your body go into autopilot?
100%. Yeah. That's how you should fight.
Obviously, I'm a non-fighter.
Yeah.
So as a fan, you know, we watch you and it looks like sometimes someone's rocked and they're still able to figure it out.
So
you know?
like, these parts, he's at the other side of the octagon, I'm here, referee's in the middle, it's round one, let's go. You go out, you have the feel it out process. There's a lot of shit going on in your mind. You're thinking, right, oh, who's gonna throw? Is he gonna do that big right hand? Is he gonna shoot a double leg? Once there's been a few punches exchanged, once you've been taken down and you get back to your feet, once the anxiety has been answered, once you know you can take that shot, once you know you can get back to the feet or take them down, now you're on autopilot. Now all that bullshit that goes on between the ears doesn't matter, and you're like, let's go. So that's why fights always start, and you're like, oh, no, come on, dickhead. Let's see what you got. Hop on. You know?
Is there something you do, Raul, right when a fight first starts to really fill out your guy?
Yeah, I just keep distance, you know, I'm trying to see, I'm using mainly feints, you know, to try to see like what they're...
What are you studying, what they bite on?
Yeah, and like, he's not worried about the takedown, he's worried about the takedown.
Yeah.
Or like, I can tell like when he's like Rafa, I could tell he really wanted him to throw his right hand, you know, so I could like...
How could you feel that? He was loading it up, he was showing it?
He was like showing it a little bit, so I was like, oh, he's ready to fuck him. That's why he threw a couple where I was just like, I just moved out of the way, because he was like...
Before we wrap it up, I saw Mighty Mouse kind of explaining to the Hamzat crew earlier in the camp this morning that like, understanding the distance is like half the battle. The other half the battle is being able to say once you're in there, like who's gonna kind of control the fighter, because everybody's kind of like at that same level. It's like who's really gonna be the one to take the initiative, be like, all right, I'm in control now. Is it something like that for everybody?
Yeah, just going back to the control and the range. Obviously, we're in the clinch. This is boxing range. This is kicking range, if you will. You see people out here.
Yeah.
Throwing feints and that's just wasted energy. That's just wasted movement. You're not doing anything. You have to be close enough for the feint to mean something so that they react properly. Boom. If you're all the way out, if you're over 6 feet away, there's no point throwing any feints. You're just wasting your own time, your own energy, and you're making yourself look a little bit silly.
Yeah. Raul, last thing I got for you, what's your favorite part about being in the cage?
In the cage? I don't know.
Getting on top of it and shouting "Chi wee wees."
Yeah. I feel like, to be honest, getting my hand raised after the fight, that's like the best feeling in the world, you know? Because of all the hard work that you did to get there, so it's just like, it's awesome.
I love it. Bisping, I appreciate it. Raul Rosas Jr., ladies and gentlemen, one of the greats in the game, on the way up, a rising superstar in the UFC. Michael Bisping, one of the just middleweight goats. You already know what it is, world champion. We're here at the cage at Jaxxon Media House. Don't forget, you can see all the behind the scenes at Jaxxon Behind the Brand.